Welcome to the Cosmic Series, the new channel from XFO Intelligence, where we explore the frontiers of knowledge and, well, unravel the universe's greatest puzzles.
And today we're diving into a story that had the entire world looking up and wondering. It's a cosmic detective story featuring an interstellar visitor named 3I Atlas. And for a brief, thrilling moment, it seemed like it could finally be the one, evidence of technology beyond our own.
It had all the hallmarks of a classic mystery. An object arrives from the void between stars, moving at a speed that seems impossible.
Right.
Its chemical signature is unlike any comet we've ever seen. And to top it all off, its orbit seems suspiciously tailored to hide from our telescopes at the most critical moment.
The central question was unavoidable. Was this a natural shard from another star, or was it something engineered? And this is precisely the kind of scenario where XFO Intelligence's Deep Augmented Thinking method really shines.
Okay.
It's a rigorous process designed to challenge our own assumptions and biases. So let's open the case file on Atlas, starting with that first staggering clue, its speed.
The velocity was just mind-bending, 58 kilometers per second relative to the sun. I mean, that's so fast, it feels alien, almost belligerent.
Yeah.
The gut reaction is just, that can't be natural.
Right. And that's the first bias the augmented thinking process tackles. Instead of asking, is it natural, it asks, how unnatural is it really? When the team ran the numbers through these advanced galactic models, they found something fascinating.
And what was that?
Well, that speed, while extreme, is only 2 standard deviations from the norm for objects that are violently ejected from young star systems. It's like meeting someone who's 7 feet tall. It's incredibly rare, but you don't immediately assume they're from another planet.
Okay, so the velocity is downgraded from impossible to simply an outlier. A fascinating one, sure, but a natural one. But that still leaves the chemistry. The readings showed a carbon dioxide to water ratio of 8:1. That shattered every cometary record. The immediate exciting thought is, well, that could be engine exhaust.
It's a tempting idea, but the colder, more disciplined question is, what natural process could create such a ratio? The answer, it turns out, is simply temperature. If you form a body of ice in the desolate outer reaches of a planetary system, say at 40 kelvins or lower,
Interesting, yeah.
it will naturally be rich in carbon dioxide ice. So it wasn't an engine signature.
It was what?
It was a thermometer from deep space, giving us a temperature reading from its distant birthplace.
I love that phrase, a thermometer from deep space. It's not a message, it's a measurement. Okay, so speed and chemistry are explained, but the orbital path, that felt like something out of a spy movie. Atlas swung behind the sun at its closest approach, perfectly hidden from Earth's view. It looked like a deliberate maneuver, a chance to fire a thruster in secret.
This is where the analysis gets beautifully counterintuitive. The object was on a retrograde trajectory, meaning it was orbiting the wrong way around the sun compared to the planets. Now, the laws of celestial mechanics dictate that for an object on that specific path,
Okay.
its orbit must intersect the Sun-Earth line. It didn't choose the blind spot. The blind spot was a geometric inevitability. The veil wasn't tailored.
It was
It was forced by gravity.
no stealth maneuver then. But let's talk about thrust. There was a tiny hint of it in the early data, a non-gravitational push of about 5 micrometers per second squared. It's an infinitesimal number,
It is.
but it was there.
It was. But augmented thinking demands rigorous energy bookkeeping. To generate that teeny push on an object the size of Atlas, even a hollow one,
Yeah.
would require 1/4 of a terawatt of power. The resulting waste heat would make it blaze in infrared telescopes. We looked. The sky was dark.
So what was the push?
An echo of human haste, as the paper puts it. A minuscule error in the data processing.
An error?
When the orbit was recalculated with the error removed, the acceleration vanished completely into the noise.
Incredible. No engine, no stealth, no push. What about its actual body? I recall the early buzz that its color was a perfect match for, what was it? Titanium oxide paint?
It was a tantalizing match for sure, but the augmented thinking process forces you to widen the possibilities. Is there anything else? Anything natural that looks like that? And there is a simple mixture of magnesium-rich amorphous silicates, the kind of dust that's everywhere in space,
Right.
plus about 10% organic compounds, reproduces the exact same color, polarization, and radar albedo. It's just a dark, porous, and fragile mineral. No alloy, no armor, no antenna.
This is a masterclass in scientific detective work. Every single piece of evidence that pointed towards artificial has just been elegantly explained by nature. So what was the final decisive blow to the alien probe hypothesis?
The final challenge was fuel. If it were a probe, it would need to perform a break-in burn to stay in our system. Even a tiny one would require a staggering amount of propellant.
How much?
40 billion kilograms of liquid oxygen. An oxygen cloud that vast would leave an unmistakable absorption line in the light passing through it. And the James Webb Telescope was pointed right at it, looking for that specific signature.
And what was the result?
Nothing. Not a single trace, down to 1 part in 100,000. The tanks are empty because they never were.
So when you braid all of those strands together, the speed, the chemistry, the orbit, the phantom thrust, the materials, the missing fuel, what's the final verdict?
The team used a Bayesian analysis which combines all these independent probabilities into one definitive conclusion.
And
The posterior probability that 3I Atlas is a natural object is 0.9983. To put it another way, the odds are 600 to 1 in favor of nature. Decisive.
So in the end, it's not a vessel, it's not an alien messenger, but the research concludes it is a messenger of a different kind.
Exactly. It's a thermometer, a speedometer, and a barometer from a planetary system we will never, ever see.
Wow.
And it taught us that the galaxy's outer ice reservoirs are more chemically diverse and the systems they belong to are more violently stirred than our own. The comet that briefly frightened us has instead profoundly taught us.
And it's also a mirror, isn't it? The report says it reflects our own deep-seated capacity to mistake rarity for design. The real breakthrough of this deep augmented thinking method, it wasn't just solving for Atlas. It was developing a tool to help us see past our own biases and desires.
The universe, it turns out, is sufficiently imaginative to create wonders without engineers. And it's sufficiently lawful to allow us to prove it.
it really leaves you with a sense of awe, not for what could have been, but for what is. The natural world is, and always has been, more wondrous than we can imagine.
And that leads us to a final thought we'd like to leave with you. Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. As our tools for observation become infinitely more powerful, how do we ensure that our methods for thinking keep pace so that we can distinguish the truly revolutionary from just a reflection of our own hopes?